Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Some nice steamy tea here. Oh, nice and hot, spilled on my leg. Okay, it's still steeping. All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to continue our quest of sculpting Ajax here. Last night we finished off the top of the helmet and the kind of thick collar he has. There's still a front part of the collar we have to do. I think we'll be doing the back next. Can either do the back or the front part of the collar, but I'll probably do the back. Back next. Let me pull up. Get to the right part of the reference. I have a nice little reference video that I've been working from. Quite an intricate part of him, that's for sure. Hey, what's up, silly cubes? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. We'll definitely need some more clay before we dive in here, so let's do some conditioning. This is what we're working on for those that haven't seen the piece yet so far. Yeah, it seems, a lot of the new stuff seems to be like that, where it's, you know, I'll still use the pasta machine if I'm needing a lot of clay. I'll still use the pasta machine just to save my hands, but if I don't need too much, I'll just kind of once you kind of get it started, everything works good. Enough. I might need to bust out the hot glue gun too, because you can see we got quite a large volume to fill. So no need to use this giant chunk of clay just to fill that volume. That's true, Saradini.
Is there a coin for an old beggar?
Hey, Kodat, thanks for the 1, 2, 3 biddies. 1, 2, 3 shiny gemstones. Appreciate that. Thank you. We are making a bust of the character Ajax from the game, the first Descendant. Okay, so we will need the hot glue gun in order to attach foil in this way. So let me get this out and plug it in. That can start to heat up. Down in the teens tonight. Yeah, it's winter really just kind of, it's like, all right, let's begin. I don't think the timing's too far off. I remember that a lot of the times for Thanksgiving it would be already winterish weather, so. Tea's still steeping. Very too hot to drink right now. Well, I suppose I could poke around at the dragon while we wait for the hot glue gun to heat up. Let us do this. No time to spare. Don't poke dragons, very dangerous. Too late. Let's gotta do the scales on this bicep region here. It's a little bit harder to reach. Where are you from again, Cassie? We're waiting for the hot glue gun to heat up so we can begin the character that we're working on this evening. In the meantime, we are wasting no time and poking around on the dragon here. South Carolina. Yeah, I mean, I guess there is a lot of abnormal weather going on in that part of the world, huh? This year. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you were gone for a while. Crazy, crazy stuff over there. Oh, really? Kodat. Cool. I've been sculpting for about 15 years, pretty consistently. Yes, we are having class this Sunday. That's why I need to squeeze some work in on this guy before then. I mean, technically, I don't have to. What we're gonna be demonstrating is the back of the neck and the back area here, so it doesn't actually technically need to be done. I just would like to be done with the other parts. Eventually, I have to catch up to that stuff. So I'm tricking my brain by pretending like it has to be done. But my brain is catching on already, thanks to people like Clayton. Thanks, buddy. Okay, looks like our hot glue gun might be ready. Grab some foil here. Okay, so what's your favorite thing about sculpting? It's just the ability to take something like clay and smush it around, and it becomes really detailed, specific things. I think that never gets old. That feeling of like endless possibilities. Okay, so we're just gonna crinkle this on here. Okay. You know, I made these classes not to be like something you have to follow along live. Really, it's like a fun thing to follow along live, but like honestly, I'm trying to create an inventory of classes that people can use and get to whenever it's convenient for their schedule, you know, in video format. So don't stress out about it. There we go. We don't want to be failed like Sarab. The only danger to sidelining a project is, and I'm telling you, this is going to happen, and you have to push through this, but you will find yourself not having any desire to work on the old project that's been sitting around for forever because it is old. You know, it's hard to reignite the flame of an old project, especially if you don't have something else pushing you to get that project done. You know, for example, I've had projects that have gotten sidelined, but they were commission works and they would always have to get finished eventually, you know. So most of you guys don't have that, so that means it's very easy to just say, well, you know what, let's just put this in this box right here and just forget it exists and start something new, you know. And the only problem with that is you're missing out on a lot of lessons, a lot of really valuable lessons that come with the completion of the piece, the final actualization. Plus, we want to establish good habits, you know. There we go. I'd say that's probably filled in enough. There's a good chance I'll have to cut some of this off later, but that's okay. Let's unplug the hot glue gun. It does make me want to possibly consider doing a series of shorter class tutorials, because I know I'm diving into the deep end of the pool by creating these projects that are full-size characters, which is a big undertaking. So perhaps we should do like just something smaller, some sort of fun project that isn't something that's going to take you know, a bunch of time to complete, like you know, maybe like a 3-lesson tutorial or something after the robot. Yeah, right, exactly. The potion bottle that lights up, you know, fun things, fun ideas like that. For me personally, it'd be good to practice coming up with projects like that and executing teachings like that, because a lot of like live teaching opportunities usually happen in like 1 to 3 sessions. Usually you don't get like, all right, guys, we're going to do buckle in. We're going to be here for a whole month working on this. Usually that doesn't happen. So So coming up with fun ideas that can be executed quickly by people that don't have a lot of experience. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, exactly, Clayton. Okay. Let's just go ahead and add some clay glue here to the back. And we're just going to focus on this whole back region. Check my tea. Looks pretty good. I have some mugwort lemon balm tea here. War's coming back next week, by the way. So better be there, El Ikelos. But it'll be just for the morning streams. That's good. I just like coming here to say war now. Yeah, me too. Hello. Right, let's get the area kind of covered with a base layer of clay. And we'll start working on the primary shapes and the secondaries. Catch you on the morning drives home. Yeah, it'll be very scheduled, just like it was last time. So it'll be like, you know, on the hour kind of deal. We don't have a ton of the game keys left, but we do have a decent, probably a week's worth, I would say. And then, but then we still have the headsets as well. Oh. Wait, I'm confused. You just woke up, but you're on your drive home from work right now? Okay, so this area comes out more. Hey Lux, how you doing, my friend? I don't know if I said hi to you or not. Just in case I didn't. And if I did, hi again. Oh. Oh, I see. Yeah. Hey, glad to accompany you on your drive home. Studies show there's a 110% decrease in road rage incidents while listening to cnotbusch streams on the way home. %300% more cars and ditches. Ikelis used to be that guy that would get out of his car and bang on people's windows, you know, when they would like not turn their blinker on early enough when they changed lanes. But look at him now. Not one incident since he started tuning in. Let me see here. Okay. Yes. Hey, Peter. Glad you could join us. All right, Peter's here. We can now begin. Thank you, Peter. Now we may begin. Hey, Chris. Thanks. Why, thank you. Okay, so let's draw a nice center line for us here. Peter is never late. He arrives precisely when he means to. Okay, and then these. Hyperbore. Hello. Hyperborea. What's Ajax? This is Ajax. It's a character from the first Descendant. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I have a lot of fun doing stuff like that. Really organic, textured things. Yeah. It's the first thing I think of when I read your name. Nothing gets past me, Hyperbore. Some things. Night and day for texture, yeah, I know. It's nice to have that type of a change up, to be honest. I really enjoy our morning project. It's been very fun to do. All right, Princess. We'll catch you later. Thanks for chilling. want to get a, I want to get a tiny pair of, I think I have something like this, but it'd be nice to get a tiny pair of calipers. They're really precise. And then once you draw a center line, you can really just like very accurately measure out symmetry really quickly. Yeah, I have something. It's like a compass that we could probably use for this. Because the big calipers are just too big to handle nicely. It's one of those tools I've seen laying around like a million times. Just now thought of a good use. But where is it? The question. There. Nowhere to be found, of course. It's gotta be in here, I'm just not seeing it. I don't think it's in here. Nope. What about in here? Okay. And I suppose we could just use the larger ones. I keep my eyes out for something like that though. Maybe, I bet you they probably already have really small calipers that you can order inside the sofa. No. I probably just had it in my tools for the longest time and then was like, why do I even have this in here? And like threw it out one day. So we'll use these, but this one's kind of bent a little bit, so we're gonna give it a little corrective bend so the points meet up pretty well. Okay, so now I have a digital caliper too. Been going through the workshop finding all the things that I forgot I had. Oh, calipers, not digital calipers. I was sitting there in my mind trying to understand how you would repurpose digital calipers to do that, because they're shaped totally different. I was like, oh, maybe you'll weld needles to the ends of the calipers or something. Ah, yes, that's what he must do. The shape of this neck brace here. Okay. You know where I got a lot of inspiration for this technique? You ever seen those, I think it's Japanese that make the ceramic teapots? And they're super like geometric and smooth. It's like very similar ideology. Similar techniques. All right, now. I know, it's always impressive to watch. Was any? She doing good. Lively. Energetic. Hating the cold. So a heads up for you evening viewers, we will be not doing evening streams on Wednesday moving forward here. Starting tomorrow, Emma is beginning ballet lessons, ballet class. So that will be happening Wednesday evenings. So what's going to happen is Wednesday morning streams are going to get much longer to make up for it. So I'll be doing one big long stream on Wednesday morning and then no evening stream Wednesday. That's the game plan. Little shift in the schedule. Oh, really? Yeah, it's not too bad cost-wise, and it's a lengthy thing. Goes, it's they have like general practice, but they're like training for a big dance recital in the spring. So they practice all winter. And in the spring, there's a nice little show. I'm pretty excited. It's like Emma's first, I don't know, like club or group event like that. So very curious to see how well she learns from her instructor. And just how she does. Oh, really? Wow. Does that include the class fee and all that stuff, or no? That's just on top of. $180 a month. Oh man, was that once a week? I think this program she's doing breaks down to like $14 per session or something like that. $14 a week. Three times a week. Okay. That's pretty involving, so that's what, 12 times a month. I guess that's not too bad. When you think of it in an hourly it's 45 minutes. I figure the attention span of 4-year-olds doesn't go further than that. Probably the perfect amount of time. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure she will. It's also just, it's something she's really interested in. She like already had proper ballet shoes, and she already had the whole outfit before we even looked into signing up for classes. She's demonstrated a very high lack of shyness when it comes to dancing in front of people or singing in public. So she's definitely not a shy kid. Oh, she's going. You gotta learn about making a commitment and sticking to it, that's for sure. Whether you like it or not, you're going. Right. I remember me and my brothers, we did football all growing up from like the age of 6. And I hated when the end of the summer was coming and football practice was starting. I was like, no, I don't want to go. We had to. We had to always have a sport. Didn't matter what the sport was, but we had to have a sport. think this needs to be bigger. All right, Lex. Let me remeasure here. You have a good night, my friend. Why, hello there, Plankwalker. How you doing? Blocking out phase. Well, are you struggling with kind of like knowing what to do and where to start? Or is it something different? Yeah. You have a hard time getting through the ugly phases of the project. Hey, thanks, Ryan. You have to imagine your sculptures like how a photo develops. You know, it's not developing like one little area of detail and then the rest is still blurry. It's like slowly starting off as just the big shapes, the very blurry big shapes. Then you get the secondary shapes, slightly smaller shapes. And slowly, slowly, the whole thing's getting more and more clear until you have the full thing like. No. Ego getting in the way is a common issue, though. So you have to kill your ego. You must suffer ego death. Embrace your suffering. The first step to being good at anything is to be bad at it first. So if your fear is rooted in not wanting to be bad at something, well, that's the first step, my friend. Swap it for egos. No, don't eat those. We want waffles, make them from scratch. is eggs? What is eggs, precious? What is eggs? Boil them, fry them, stick them in a souffle. I want to start sculpting. Should I start small / simple so I don't get disappointed? A lot of times simple things are harder to make than complex things, actually in most cases. So there's certain things that you should stay away from. I think doing mechanical things, you should probably stay away from those at the beginning. Pretty things or cute things, you should stay away from those. Pretty much the more naturally deformed or organically shaped something is, the easier it's going to be for you to get a good result. So starting with something, you know, like a woodland spirit or a monster or a creature of some sort, or like you know, if you check my channel, I have step-by-step tutorials for start to finish completion of whole projects. One of them is the woodland gremlin. That's a good one. Right now we're currently working through the dragon. So those are two things you could check out, because I really think it will accelerate your learning if you follow along on a tutorial step by step. You're going to kind of jump over barriers that will kind of hold you up for a long time if you don't learn them from someone else, like building an armature, you know, all these, like, there's a lot of parts of this process that you just need to know the information. And if you don't know the information and you start sculpting, you're like shooting yourself in the foot. So you can check out those just free tutorials. And I think you could start, honestly, I think you could start with large, maybe not really big pieces, but full-size characters. You know, really what you want to do is you want to sculpt things that you're going to be interested in. You know, when I started, I started doing full-size characters because that's the kind of work I wanted to make. So then you should practice the thing you want to do. Don't do other things to practice the thing you want to do. Just do the thing you want to do. Unless, of course, it's like life-size sculptures, then you should probably gain some sculpting skills first before jumping into like big things. Right. Let's see here. What kind of clay would somebody use for a life-size sculpture? Well, there's all kinds of different ways to go about doing life-size. It really depends on the budget that you're working with. You could sculpt it using like Chavant or Monster Clay, and then make molds, life-size molds. Cast it in, you know, silicone or resin. You could use foam as a filler material and then sculpt with epoxy clay on the very outside layer. You could use polymer clay for a life-size piece. I actually think it'd be really good. I think at some point I probably will do a life-size piece out of polymer clay, specifically Cos clay, because of the durability that it has. What other methods are there? There's people that they carve out like things out of foam, and then they use fiberglass on top of the foam to create a hard shell, and then a lot of the props you'll see at like miniature golf courses, that's how they're made, or like amusement parks. How would you bake it, piece by piece or something portable? Yeah, either I would design an armature that would come apart into like 1 foot by 1 foot sections, or depending on the character, or you would or I would just build a custom oven outside or something. Because you gotta think this only needs to reach 275 Fahrenheit. So I don't think it would be too hard to make like just a big insulated box outside, and then like either like hook up like 3 heating guns to it, or some sort of heating element that you have a temperature control on. Borrow a car paint shop oven, yeah, or something like that. Oh yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. But then you would have to because you'd have to you'd have to bake it quite a few times. It wouldn't just be like a one bake deal. So probably the best bet to get the best details and stuff would be to like making the hand a separate element, the forearm a piece, the bicep. Design a frame that just kind of comes apart and then goes together nice at the end. And then what you could do is you can use epoxy clay to sculpt any seam lines away at the end when it all comes together at the end. So yeah, there's all kinds of different ways to go about it. Probably the cheapest one is the foam with like epoxy clay method. Life-size 3D print. Oh boy, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it definitely would work. You just take a lot of time, and you'd have to just a lot of hand work at the end. Piecing it together, and then using probably same thing, epoxy clay and sanding. I like to think so. I really enjoy the clay process myself. I might have a bias though. Bar armature. It'd probably actually be square steel tubing or piping. Welded square steel. Rebar would be very heavy. Also, the square, you can make a telescoping, you can make the parts kind of fit together with the having square stock. Just like I do with the brass tube, square tubes, but on a larger scale. With some like pins, like so when it gets put together, it just pins in place. Cotter pin or something. All right, I'll be right back, folks. I'll refill my drink and we'll continue. Don't go nowhere. Alrighty. Back to work. Oop. Hey, Snowball. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. It is cold here, but don't worry, I have nice warm clothing. Keep me warm. Cold's not so bad if you're prepared for it. I have this fascination with always, not fascination, but I've always thought the most dangerous season, realistically, is the winter. I always think about how people in non-modern times would spend their whole year preparing for that season. And then now you fast forward to today and you got a guy driving to the store in a t-shirt and shorts and flip-flops in the middle of winter. It's like, all right, we've come far from our respect that we once had for winter. But it's dangerous. When I leave the house in the wintertime, I'm dressed as if I have to walk home. Because there just might be that one time when you have to walk home. You never know. I also keep a wool blanket in the car during the wintertime. I keep a gallon or two of water in the car during the summer. A blanket in the winter. Yeah, for sure, quick. Way too much. I always think about what the feeling of spring coming and winter finally breaking was like for people that lived before. It had to be glorious every time because winter was exponentially more miserable. You know, think about it. It gets dark super early. It's cold. Couldn't really do much except try to stay warm. That's why the cuckoo clocks came into existence. The farmers of that part of Germany would sit inside and make cuckoo clocks all winter time because they couldn't do anything during the winter except sit inside. So they would make cuckoo clocks and then have an additional source of income selling them. Hello, Audi bird. I'm doing good. Can't speak for everyone, but I can speak for myself. I'm doing quite well. Thanks for asking. Hey, soldier dude. How's everything going over there, man? What's the update? Oh, it's tomorrow. Okay. All right. Good. Well, we're thinking about you, buddy. You'll be all right. Oh, yeah. No worries. I just assumed you ignored me and you hate me. So that's usually what I assume if somebody doesn't respond back to me saying something to them. I just jump straight there. Nope. The person hates me now.
Listen closely, traveler, to what I say. Twitch Prime does not even cost a dime.
Hey, what's up, Blackthorn? How you doing, my friend? You usually do. Hey, thank you so much for the 55 months there, Blackthorn. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for your continued support. Thanks for sticking with me. The Scarecrow lives on. He'll live forever because he was one of the first, I think one of the first characters I made entirely out of cosplay. So that's a good time to get in there. Awesome. Glad to hear. Hey, thanks, man. I shall. I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. If you continue to tune in and support me, I will continue. That's the deal. Unless I die. Then the deal's off. Or if you die. Then we'll just have to carry on without each other. Bet you this method is very similar to how the method they use for sculpting. A lot of cars are still sculpted nowadays before they come out with models. Sculpted out of clay. And usually in half scale. So usually when they come out with a design for a car, they'll have a sculptor sculpt it out of clay. And the reason they do that is they can do aerodynamics tests and stuff like that with a physical model. I don't know if I don't think they've switched to 3D printing for that. I think they still do it out of clay. Pretty sure there's no freehanding involved there, though. It's definitely a much more strict working process. Almost as precise as the tea kettles, yeah. Just a lot more caliper use and measurements. No eyeballing shapes and stuff. It's a bulking material. That way we don't have to make the solid thing out of clay. So essentially you sculpt the basic forms with the foil. And then we lay the clay on top of the foil. Yeah, sure. The song? This is Witcher. Witcher. I think the last song was World of Warcraft. I think we'll cut these off for now.
The strength of the cnotbusch kingdom lies not in our walls, but in our people. March to war.
Hey, Cozy Art. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. How you doing, my friend? How was your stream? What were you up to this evening? Come on in. Anybody that's new, my name is cnotbusch. I make sculptures here. One-of-a-kind custom sculptures. We're working on a piece. I was commissioned by the makers of the game, the first Descendant, to create one of their characters in a bust format. So his name's Ajax from the game. We just started working on this back area here. Thanks for joining us. Painted a Santa using Jack Black as the model. Okay. Just don't misspell Santa, huh? Sounds like a good time. Okay. Okay, I think this needs to be raised up a little bit. Hey, Anna. Thank you. Well, thank you very much. This is like his back armor. Here's the front of the character. Kind of this futuristic knight-looking guy. Hello, Sarah Denny. If it's a full character, I will. This is just a bust, so I didn't sketch this. Also, I started it while I was out of town in Germany, so I didn't have my full kind of setup with me. But here's an example. We're working on a project in the morning stream. This is what a sketch would look like. So I don't sketch with paper and pencil usually, or two-dimensionally. I sketch with a different kind of clay that's easy to kind of squish around really quick. So I'll create like almost like a mock build of what my intention is. This takes about, 4 hours to produce something like that. I think I also have this, another piece we're working on for Logitech. I created this sketch of my design. It's for a custom headphone stand. And then I took this and produced the finished piece. Let me find it. Right here. There's the finished piece. Minus the paint. It's getting painted right now, but so same general idea, but of course all the details are there and everything's, sometimes things will change and shift a little bit, but the basic concept's the same. Here's the sketch. But I didn't do any sketches for this one. Thanks, Chris. happened to the camera? Yeah, I guess. Just taking a little break, I guess. Might be easier to remove those after it's been baked. All right. let's leave that there for now, folks. We'll continue not tomorrow night, but Thursday night. I'll probably actually do the final touches on this and get it baked so we can start the next part. Not too bad. Oops. Do you go back after it's cooked and clean things more? If I feel like it's needed. I know on this guy I'm doing all the like scratches and weathering post baking. And the reason I'm doing it after it's been baked instead of before is I want it to be not as almost want this metal to be like futuristic metal so it doesn't damage as easily. So all my scratching and little dents and stuff will be way less impactful after it's been cured. So yeah, just a reminder, everybody, so starting tomorrow and moving forward, there won't be evening streams on Wednesday nights. Miss Emma is enrolled in ballet, which will happen every Wednesday night, so I'll be preoccupied with that. But there will be a nice long morning stream, so if you tune in for the morning, you'll see a nice longer episode. So post it on Instagram. Okay, let me check it out. Let's see what you got there, Cozy. Okay, I was gonna say there's somebody else with your name. They even have your logo. Only one painting though. Aha, found you. Which one is it? The last post I see is the X-Men one. Make sure I got the right one here. Oh. All right. Well, I'll see it. I'll see it later. So let's find someone to raid, folks. I'm gonna get out of here. It's okay. It was a good try. A for effort. That's how you spell effort, right? With an A. Rhinus. Hey, you know what? Let's go drop you guys off with Rhinus leatherworking. Leatherworking stream. There we go. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me this evening. And until next time, bye-bye.